So before we jump into Maya, I just wanted to go over a little bit more of this UV mapping process and the material process. If you look at this image here, this is by Alex Munn, who we've looked at, very good modeler and artist. This is one of his models here of like some kind of little crypt. And you can see the geometry. It's pretty straightforward. It has the default gray material color that we use in Maya. And it's just the geometry, but with the surfaces rendered out there, just plain gray. And then here are two views of the same object with the full material applied via the process of UV mapping. And so the way that works, over here on the right, you can see his full laid out material. Now I want to point out a couple things about this. First thing is that materials in Maya are always going to be square, perfectly square. This object is not square, but the material sheet for it is. So your materials are always going to be laid out on a square. The second thing I want to point out is that these materials, or the layout of this material is such that it has pieces that are broken apart and moved around within that square. And you can kind of figure out where they correspond. You know, here's the steps. Well, I don't see the steps. Maybe those are just repeated over here. But we can see like the this archway and the bricks beneath it, and this is the kind of dome that's repeated. You can see that material's repeated over and over, so he only has one version of it here. And I'm sure that's what he did with the steps as well. And then you can see the little angel face and some details there. So this is a good example of how you get these things, which are done flat. These were done in Photoshop over here, all these layouts, flat, 2D space. And via UV mapping, they're put over here into 3D space. Here's another example that actually shows the UVs. So this is from the Blender site. And you can see these white lines that overlay the image here. The white lines are the actual UVs, what are called the UVs. These are the grid squares that will be applied to the 3D object. I don't think I have a picture of that 3D object. No, I just have that here. But that gives you the basic idea of what the UVs are. And Alex's, we don't get to see the UVs in this particular image that he rendered out. So here you see it.